Good morning, my good people. How are you doing today? See, I'm wrapped up because it's cold out here. So I think I'm starting to lose count. It's like the 16th or 17th episode we have done. So I want to welcome you once again to Walk and Talk with Lamont Carey. And I wanted y'all to know that today I'm joined by an exciting guest. He decided to come out and hang out. Gangsta. You see him doing what gangsta do. So, on February the 1st, because I didn't intend to do the show on this page. And so on February the 1st, the show will start being done on my Mr. Lamont Carey page. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for helping me get off to a great success with a new endeavor. As you always do, I am so appreciative of you and all of your support. So what do you want to talk about today? Do you want to talk about writing, performance, growing our money, youth, relationships? What you in the mood to talk about this morning? So again, I welcome you right here with me. Hold on. Hey, Dad. Good morning, Dad. So y'all, it is cold out this joint. So what do y'all want to talk about? Dad, what you want to talk about? Relationships, juveniles, men, writing, performance. So, again, welcome back to Walk and Talk with Lamont Carey. I appreciate you for joining me, sticking it out with me doing this new adventure. If you don't know, I am a writer. I currently have a sale on my best-selling series called Predator or Prey. The first book is called The Heal, I actually wrote while in prison. And the second book is The Wall. And the third book in the series is called The Transition. It's a very insightful book. It gives you a real look inside of prison. You learn about friendships, betrayals, love, loss. Kiana, good morning. Let's talk about me. I don't think that was an option. So I can talk about me. So my name is Lamont Carey, if you don't already know. And I was born in Washington, D.C., but I was raised in prison. And I went to prison at 16. But, so I'm going to mix youth into this. Hey, love. So I'm going to mix youth into this because I was a juvenile when I went to prison. And I think I've said this on the show before. One of the things that I've always known about my life is that I was poor. And that I learned that just by the communities that we lived in. My mother always saying no, that she couldn't buy something because we couldn't afford it. And my father used to beat my mother up, right? And so that at a young age, I think I had to be like 9 or 8 or what have you, and I was deciding that was the person that I was going to kill when I grow up. And it impacted, their relationship impacted my relationship moving forward. Good morning, Linda. Because of their relationship, I never was going to allow anybody to take advantage of me. I never was going to allow anybody to bully me. And so that made me like aggressive. Plus, I was already dealing with, I was short. That wasn't I skinny. Well, I'm still skinny, right? I was short, I was skinny, and so I wasn't going to be bullied. I'm not having that. And so I remember I stayed back in kindergarten, right? How in the hell you stay back in kindergarten when all you do is eat and sleep, right? So Dot said yes. So I stayed back in kindergarten, and I don't know how you stayed back in kindergarten, but they kept my little ass back. But I do remember that my teacher had when they used to use them big ass paddles, she smacked me on my hand with the paddle, and I waited, and I eventually grabbed the paddle when she was writing on the board, and I hit her across her back with the paddle that she hit me on the hand with, right? And I remember running out of the school, and that's probably the reason that I stayed back. Copper Rose and Bone. Wow. Linda, awesome lead singer of Copper Rose and Bone. If y'all haven't experienced them, y'all must do that. Awesome band, awesome entertainers, and they vicious. So, but I think hitting the teacher on the back with the ruler probably played a big part in why I was kept back. And then they kept me back in first grade. Now in the first grade, I was off the chain. I remember I used to take like my little sister, Rhea, used to take my little sister earrings and the little loop earrings and put them on my little pinky fingers or whatever finger that they will fit on. And then I will punch people in school. And for some reason, crossing guards were like my main victims. I don't know what that was about. It probably was about because every time I seen police in our community, they were taking away somebody that I love. And so from there I stayed. They kept me back in the first grade, and then they put me in special ed. Now I'm really pissed, right? Hey, Yonder, I'm pissed because they put me in special ed, because now I'm worried about people saying retarded, people saying dumb, people saying all that kind of stuff. So if you was around me and you said anything in connection to somebody being stupid, you ain't even have to be talking about me. We was fighting. And so I was getting put out of schools. I remember I went to Turner Elementary School off of Stanton Road in Alabama in Washington, D.C. Oh, yeah, Yonder. I'm going to tell you about this one, Yonder. So I'm going to Turner Elementary. This is off of Alabama Avenue. And I remember I got in this fight. Me and one of my buddies, I just seen this guy after all these years, like a couple of weeks ago, doing pretty good for himself. We got in a fight with some guys in the lunchroom. And that was their last draw with me. So they put me out of that school. And they sent me to this school called Green Elementary in Southeast Washington. But the catch was, they wasn't allowing me to walk to school. So I had to get on this little bus joint, right? And so I'm going to Green Elementary, same attitude, because for some reason, it seemed like every school that I had to go to, I felt that I had to prove myself. I had to prove that I wasn't soft. I had to prove that I will fight. So I walk into the door prepared to show that I'm not no punk. And that contribute to me building like a reputation as a little fighter, and it put me on a warning list by the principals. So anyway, I go to Green Elementary, and I eventually get put out of Green Elementary. So now my mother have to move because the other schools in Southeast I've already been in and been kicked out of, or I guess they wasn't taking a chance on me. And do you know, throughout all of this, I had never been offered any kind of program. There was like no anger management program. There was no mindset changing program. What they did was suspend. Angela, hey babes. Yonder said, check out my page, gave you your book a major shout out. Appreciate you, Yonder. You always give me a great shout out. Everything I do is taboo. Hey, Nikki. But they never put me in the program. I mean, I'm fighting on a consistent basis. They never put me in the program. And my mother had no control over my behavior because I say I'm going to do right. And I still do wrong. So they put me out of Green Elementary School, and we had to move and ended up in another part of DC on Bennett Road, and I was going to this school named Davis Elementary. And I remember getting in all kinds of trouble at Green. And then they put me in the meanest teacher. So bear in mind, I done stayed back twice. They done put me in special ed, right? So at Green Elementary, this principal took me with her. Nikki said, good morning, motivational speech. Hey, love. So this principal put me in the car with her, took me with her downtown somewhere and said, Lamont, what is it that you want to be? What is it that you want to do in this school, and I'm going to help you? And I was like, I don't want to do nothing. I'm trying to be defiant, right? So she was like, you don't want to be a crossing guard? Now, bear in mind, that was the funniest joke in the world to me for some reason, because that was everybody I used to beef with was the crossing guard. And so when I told her nothing and I stood by that, she eventually put me in the meanest teacher class in the school, right? So this is a 6th grade teacher. Remember, I'm supposed to be in the 6th grade, but I'm in the 4th. So this teacher, mean as hell, she said, you are not getting no special treatments. You're going to do the work that I'm doing in here because I am not doing no extra work, right? This is what she just about said to me verbatim. And so she had this reputation of being the baddest ass in the school. So I ended up obeying. I'm in her class. I'm doing everything that she's telling me to do. I'm doing the homework. And the thing that I learned is that out of all these adults that I had been around, nobody made me do anything. My mother ain't make me do anything. All them other teachers and principals didn't make me do anything. But this one teacher just basically said, look, I'm better than you. What you give me is what I'm going to give you. And I was in that classroom doing that work, right? And so when the summertime comes, before the summer came, I just started hustling, right? I just started selling drugs. And so now every time I get home from school, I'm hustling. And when the summertime comes, now I'm hustling all day long, right? Me and all the little guys who have the same experiences that I had, we out there selling drugs. And we get a letter from the school that said, beginning of the school year, that I will be starting junior high school. And I'm like, what the hell? How in the hell I'm going to junior high school when I'm in the 4th grade, right? And what I didn't know about was No Child Left Behind. Because what I told myself, man, I'm smarter than they thought I was. That's right. I'm a young genius. This is what I'm running around saying. So, but when the summer ends, now I'm already buying me little clothes. We going out places. So I go to school. And Fletcher Johnson, junior high school. So, Seal, what's up, champ? So, So this is the school. I have never experienced a school like this in my life. There are no walls. You can see the other classrooms. I don't know how in the hell they expect you to focus when you in a classroom like that. So I'm in this school, noticing girls more than I've ever noticed girls ever before. Got a little bit of money in my pocket, so we hanging down at this place called the Market off of Benning Road. Yonder, damn, junior high, you in the 4th grade, right yonder. There was no child left behind, because there's no way that I was supposed to be in there. Now, I was doing the work. I don't remember what my grades were with the 6th grade teacher, but I was doing the work, right? But that had to be a part of, hey, Jeff, the No Child Left Behind program, where they just pass out kids, whether we prepared or capable of the next grade. So, but I'm hustling. So I'm down, because there's no walls in the school. I got to make sure that I'm fly as I could possibly be, because everybody can see me, right? So I cut down. Something about getting money that made me grow up a little bit. So I cut down on the Margot, you ain't lying, I'm still in DC area. Hey, Margot. So yonder said, you did see all Southeast. Yeah, I was forced to see all the Southeast. So something about getting a little bit of money that changed, that made me feel that I was mature, right? But in the neighborhood, so the one thing about that I'm hoping that you're getting from all this, please don't think that I'm glorifying, but these are just some of the steps that led to everything that I have experienced in my life. Hill, what's happening? So, but in the neighborhood, you getting a little money. So I remember, like, I come outside, we'll be playing, right? And the older guys used to be like, man, sure, don't be coming around here with all that playing. Woo. Y'all drawing heat. So they mean that we was drawing attention to them by the police. And then I remember a drug dealer was like, man, look, man, run around the store for me. So I go to the store for him, come back, he give me some money. And so now my mother only get money once a month, right? Because my mother's on welfare. Yonder says truth is a mess. So now every time that I come out, I'm playing around the drug dealers, right? Because I'm hoping that he gonna send me to the store. And so the other thing that happened, he still continued to send me to the store. Then when they had, because they know I fight, so then when they have a problem, they'll come and get me to fight the little dudes that's disrespecting them. Because they'll tell me, like, and I'm sure they telling some of y'all kids, y'all nephews, y'all students, Shorty a gangster, Shorty tough, Shorty ain't going for nothing, like boosting my little ego up. So I'm thinking they respecting me and seeing me as an equal. But the whole time, they had me on flunky status, right? I'm fighting their battles. They not even paying me to fight for them. But I'm fighting anybody that disrespect them. And so now it goes from that, or happens at the same time. Now they got me, man, y'all, since y'all out here playing, let us know if y'all see the police, right? Not knowing, because so then we'll do like this. If we see the police coming, we'll be like, oh, that was our warning to them. Hill said, keep doing what you're doing. That's thinking. Appreciate you. So now I'm out there warning them, letting them know that the police is coming, right? Never in my wildest dream did I realize or know that just warning somebody that the police is coming could have got me a conspiracy beef, right? Never did I know that. Never. And so now I'm out there, I'm running to the store for him. The next move was, look, I hear my drugs over there, but I'm about to run off. If somebody come over there by my stash, let me know, and I got you. So I'm out there, I'm playing, we watching their drugs and all that stuff, making sure nobody don't go over there. If somebody even went over there, chances are we would have beat them up. just to protect the people drugs, right? So listen to the process. So this process that I'm telling you, so you can translate this or share this with the kids that's in your life, right? Yonder said, plan you as a sucker and you think you the man. Yonder said, conspiracy charges are more time than real crime. Hey, Yonder, I know that firsthand. So I'm thinking, so I'm watching they stash, and then it gradually progresses. Look, I'm about to make a run. This is a 20 rock. This is a 50 rock or whatever. If somebody come and they got $20, you give them this. If somebody come, they got $50, you give them this. And so what that end up doing, now I'm hustling. No more watching. Now I'm hustling. And so you got to remember, this is when I was in the elementary school joint, right? So this taking place over the summertime. So now I'm hustling. Instead of the $1 or $2 that they give me to run to the store, now I'm getting $20 off of the $50 sale. The setup move, right? To make you think that it's sweet. And then before you know it, I'm getting the package. And that's how easy a kid can get sucked in to becoming a drug dealer, right? Because we don't have money, want some money, knowing our family don't have money to give us. This is why it's so important for families to teach kids about entrepreneurship, about making money on their own. I don't care if it's carrying bags, people trash, right? I don't care if it's going up to the shopping center to carry people groceries to the car. You got to teach them how to make money legit, because if you don't and they just hanging around the neighborhood and there's knuckleheads around, they're going to be learning things that's going to eventually get them in trouble. And the biggest thing that I want you to get out of what I've been saying is all of this stuff made me think that I was a man. Because they like shorty a gangster, shorty tough, and I'm thinking that they embracing me, seeing me as an equal, so I consider myself a man. But all the time I'm really a flunky that they setting up, and the system is waiting for me, right? So now I'm a full-fledged hustler, buying my little polo shirts, buying my little classic Reebok tennis shoes, buying my little Guess jeans, right? So now I'm hot, I'm fly now, so I ain't fighting as much, right? Because I'm focused on, getting this money. So now I'm in school. No more fighting now, because it's all about oppressing the little girls, right? And so now I'm saving money, because they teaching you how to save money. So I ended up buying a little car, right? So bear in mind, I'm 12. I think I'm 12. 12 or 11, something like that. I'm young as hell. Got a car, right? Before I bought the car, I bought a scooter. I remember I had a little Spree scooter, 35 miles per hour. I'm driving down the highway on this joint, thinking I'm pushing, till the cars get close and they blowing the horns at me, right? Get that shit out the road, get out the road. So anyway, but I'm feeling good about myself because I'm taking care of myself. And my mother had little control over me then, but now when I'm getting some money, nobody has control over me except for the drug dealers or the guys, my peers that I was with. Because now we on full grown what a man is, and we living that life as men. And then the drug dealers tell us about you got to protect your profit, right? You got to watch out for the stick-up boys. You got to watch out for the jump outs. Don't let nobody know where you live at. They giving us the game. Don't tell too many people your business. Don't let nobody know if you with a female, that's your girl. Because if they know that's your girl and they trying to kidnap you or they trying to get at you, that they'll grab her to bring you out of the shadows. This is during the era when people were, if they were beefing with you, they might kill your mother or something, so you will come to the funeral so they can get you. Y'all remember that time when they was like shooting up the funeral homes and things of that nature? So this is doing all of that. So now once they tell me that I have to protect my product, now I'm buying guns, right? I'm buying guns. All of us buying guns to protect ourselves. And so, yonder, rules of the street. Yes, yes. Dorothy, so how old was you when you moved on Hayes Street? When I moved on Hayes Street, I had to be 13. I think 13 by the time I got to Hayes Street. But let me tell y'all, finish telling y'all how the system and how you young kids get set up and whisked off into prison, right? So I got robbed maybe about 6 times in life, right? And the 5 of those times was from the police. No lie. They used to call them the jump out boys, right? They'll pull up in unmarked cars, regular cars, and just all 4 doors will jump out, maybe out of 2 or 3 cars. They pin you in, and the police bum rush you. We may have money on us. So a lot of times we'll have money on us, and they'll take out the money, and I'll be like, man, that's my mother money. That's my mother money. Well, tell me exactly how much it is, and I'll give it back. So as a drug dealer, the one thing that I knew is always how much money I had in my pocket, right? So I used to tell them how much money I had, and they were like, well, tell your mother to bring her pay stub down to the precinct and get it. We got guns on us, they'll take the guns. Drugs, they'll take it. I mean, in reality, we thought it was a blessing, except for when they was taking the money. But we didn't know. I mean, so at times we would get angry at the police. So now so the summer is over. I'm hustling. I probably go to Fletcher Johnson junior high school for about 2 months, 2 or 3 months, because it's interfering with the money that I'm making in the street. So I stopped going to school so I could become a full-time hustler. So I'm 13. So Dad, I had to be 13 or 14 when I get to Hayes Street. So because I'm 12 or 13 when I dropped completely out of school, and my sister wanted to move in with her boyfriend, so she gave me her apartment. So imagine this, I'm a little ass boy, own apartment, my other little buddies staying in and out of the apartment, cause it's my spot. And so I catch some cases. Get arrested for some violent crimes, and they locked me up for a brief amount of time. So I moved back in with my mother, and my mother lived in Northeast off of Nellie Hellenborough in this big old ass building, and that's where I met Dad at. Yonder, Lady Dad said, "Hey, shorty." Yonder say, "Little boys playing cowboys and Indians." Yonder said, "Jump out boys, Officer Robinson, cowboy," and all of them yonder. So then I moved to Hayes Street on Benning Road, and now I gotta start all over, because now I'm spooked. I got these cases in court, and I'm just trying to chill. So I moved back in with my mother, and I meet this other neighborhood. I meet Dot with her 1,000 sisters, and so I'm getting familiar with the neighborhood, meet some amazing young dudes already in the street though. So by then, most of us didn't have a father in our life. Most of us had parents that was on Section 8 housing. And so we young men trying to find our way. And so I get involved with the culture in this new community, right? They were selling, I think it was PCP when I got down there, but all I knew was really selling, I just knew how to sell other stuff. And so I eventually introduced the other stuff down there. But this smaller group of dudes that I got introduced to, we became monsters in a sense. We was getting a little money around here, but not a lot of money. We was getting a little bit of money, and then so I meet this female, and I'm starting to date this female. So I'm 14. I'm 14, 15 years old. So we started getting a little bit more money around there. What was crazy is that there was so many good people in this neighborhood, but it was hard as hell for them to reach us. So we had people like Dot that would come out, and Dot was probably our damn age, but she used to talk to us like she was our damn grandmother, right? Try to get us to do right, try to get us to listen, try to get us to stop hustling in front of her house. And her sister was probably one of my crushes. But in this little community, we hustling now. We starting to get a little bit of money, so I'm starting to replicate some of the stuff that I had in these other communities. So I buy scooters, buy what I know. We buying fur coats and stuff. We wearing fur coats to like the damn skating ring. It's hot as hell in the skating ring, but we got on fur coats. Young dudes don't know what we doing, just getting some money, don't know how to save money. Know how to save money, but we're more interested in being celebrities than being low key, if that makes sense. Linda said, talk about it because you are saving a life today. Respect, King. You are amazing. Thank you. Dorothy, so Dad, you was older? Yeah, but Dad used to try. She used to try to tell me to do right, but I was too busy scanning her body. So it was hard. It's hard for you to try to tell me to do right when I'm looking at you like lusting off you and all that old shit. So if you remember through all of this stuff, there was no program. Cynthia, hey, there was no program for us to get into. There were no mentors, because our mentors were the drug dealers. And so just imagine if I had been forced, because I wouldn't have volunteered and walked into no damn program. But if I had been forced to go to a program that helped me change my thinking, that helped me learn entrepreneurship, to take the basics of what I already knew from the street life and made me turn it into something positive and productive, then my life could have really switched, right? But I realized that there was a divine plan for me, that I had to go through that journey in order for me to come right here and have this conversation with you. So in this new neighborhood, we start getting a little money, but we are violent as hell. Denise, hey Denise, you disrespect us, there was hell to pay. And so my hustle changed. I get robbed. This is the 6th time that I get robbed, right? And they take like a lot of my money that I have saved, right? Now I'm pissed. But the thing is that I always try to see the good in the situation, but the good in this situation was actually worse. Because now the good that I see in this situation, my thinking was, all this time I've been hustling and saving money, and they come in here and they break in the house and they get my money in less than 5 minutes. So now I'm like, y'all, we need to switch our hustle. We out here taking all these risks. We got to look out for the stick-up boys. We got to watch out for the police. We got to watch out for all these people. We can minimize our risk if we just start extorting drug dealers. If we just start robbing like big drug dealers and blah, 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 blah. So I switched my hustle. Silver Lady Di said, my heart goes out to you and happy you survived to this point. Lady Di said, you are so down to earth. Dorothy said, y'all had me scared to come outside. I'm sorry, Di. We were angry. We were angry, and most of the time we was pretending to be angry. We were just trying to. It was just train of thought that we ain't going for nothing, that you ain't taking nothing from us, we ain't scared of you, and we want whatever you want. If you want some problems, you can get it from us. And so that was our thinking. And so I get us to change our hustle, right? Boom. Now I'm running around, we running around with some of the most notorious names in DC. Because the one thing about anything that you do, you're always going to meet people that are experienced or living that same life. So that's what I be talking about when you're trying to accomplish your goals or your dreams and you get on that path. You're going to meet people that's where you are, that's ahead of where you are, that can help you along. It's the same in everything. Because when I was a drug dealer, I immediately met kingpins, right? When I started putting the press or targeting drug dealers, I met all the other people that were targeting drug dealers or doing contract hits. So I end up catching this case. Oh, that was the other setup. So this wasn't that I had a smooth selling. I was getting locked up, right? Dot said, I wish I could have helped you, but it wasn't destined for you to help me. You know what I'm saying? It was destined for you to plant those seeds, and you couldn't help me because I couldn't see. I would have had to be able to see for you to be able to help me, Dot. And what I saw was your little developing body, to be honest with you, right? So it was hard for me, but I had this respect for you. That's why I never really tried to put the press, right? Use my charm, right? Show you, bat my eyes at you, and no shit like that. So you couldn't help me because I wasn't you didn't have the influence, and you didn't have, your responses wasn't something that I was looking for, right? Lady Di said, yes, genius, wise beyond your years without the right guidance. Exactly. Leon, hey. Yonda said, exactly. Kingpins employ folks that are desperately seeking leadership. Right. So anything that you're trying to accomplish in life, whether it's good or bad, and then you're going after, you're going to meet people that's on that line. So I was getting arrested. I was getting caught with guns. No process, right? I'm going to court, scared to death, but they throw the case out. So I'm thinking that I have beat them. By the time I get around my way, they be like, "What happened in court?" Man, I beat that shit, shorty. They ain't got nothing on me. They threw that out. So I'm bragging, not telling them the whole time that I was scared to death. So one time it was an incident happened. I get charged with attempted murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and they got me in juvenile court. They come and arrest me at home. Another state come and arrest me. Well, they talked to my mother, I guess, but I thought they was arresting me. If I didn't know it was volunteering that I was doing, I would have never went. But now as an older person, I know that it was my mother volunteering us to go, because I'm thinking they arresting me, right? But I'm catching charges. So I catch these 2 attempted murder cases. And hold on, Heather says, yes, I know I've told you if we had met at another time, I would have had a complete different attitude to you. Wow. Perry, what's up? Yonda, I tell you all the time, I applaud you for the journey. Thanks, Yonda. So look, I catch these 2 charges, and the judge said, you in here for 2 attempted murders. You probably don't even know how to spell 8. And I tell the judge, man, I'm not here for no damn spelling bee. I'm here for this damn case. He said, Mr. Carey, you are not in Washington, D.C. So the next thing I knew, this is the first time I had been detained, right? So they locked me up for 30 days. I'm in that joint practicing how to spell colors, just in case he asks me to spell another color so I can get free. But I'm in this place. All right, Nikki. Thank you, babe. Enjoy your day. Thanks for the walk and talk flow. Thanks, babe. So I'm in this this facility in Maryland called Charles Hickey, right? I'm in here too focused on trying to figure out how to spell color so I can get back out of jail, because I'm thinking that's my get out of jail free card. And I had never been around Baltimore guys. And I did not know Baltimore guys did not like DC guys, right? So we in there going to war. We fighting, we stabbing, not with real knives. We didn't have real knives. We would break up like broomsticks and stuff like that, some crazy stuff. So anyway, so I get out. So that's not the first time that I had been arrested. I had been arrested for all kinds of stuff: driving without a license, possession of crack, about 6-7 gun charges, and they never took me off the street. They never demanded that I go into some kind of program, right? So there was nothing to stop me from becoming who I was becoming. And then I get out on the attempted murder charge, and I'm back in the street. I'm angrier. I'm desperate now because I ain't got no money. My friends got some moves for us to go on. And before long, I catch another case, right? They charge me as an adult. No bond. They didn't even have a juvenile block, right? A juvenile block is like a block where they put all the juveniles. They did give me a bond. I think it was $1 million bond. And we was able to get it down to, I think, $100,000, I think it was. And one of my buddies got me out. And so now, at first I was scared. So my buddy get me out. I go on a run. I'm not going back to court. I'm not going to jail. So I move out of town. And I ended up in New Jersey. And then this guy that I had selling drugs for me while I was on the run, I thought I had it set up. He gonna be making the money for me, sending me my money, and then I'll be doing good, right? But what ended up happening, he ran into some problems. So I come back to DC, and I wasn't even in DC a whole day. Police pull us over, guns in the car, locked back up. Over DC jail in the juvenile block with some of the most notorious young dudes in DC. And for the most part, I did what I normally do. I adjust, I get aggressive. And so they threw out the gun charge in DC, but Maryland wanted me back. So they come and get me in Maryland. And long story short, I take a plea because I had all these other more serious charges in Maryland and in DC that I was more worried about than I was with the Maryland charge, even though this Maryland charge had carried a life sentence. But they gave me a plea agreement, and I took the plea, and I went to prison. 16 years old, on my way to prison, scared, but determined that I was going to survive. And I wasn't afraid of the violence, because violence is what I knew, right? I was afraid of going on this journey by myself, because I have never really been by myself. And so that's all we're going to talk about today. I hope y'all enjoyed that. So that was a behind the curtains look of Lamont Carey. So I thank y'all for joining me on Walk and Talk, but y'all got to give me some topics to talk about. And if we're going to finish this, then you just got to let me know. But y'all have to tell me what y'all want to talk about. Writing, juveniles, prison, goals, investing, whatever y'all want to talk about, we can talk about. I know that y'all probably kicking me for saying that I stopped there when the story was getting good. But that's how we write books too, right, Yonder? Lady Di say amazing. Yonder, you Nino Brown, you on the run. Yeah, I was on the run. Oh, so let me tell y'all that. Tell y'all this. If y'all working or have little boys in y'all life that y'all want to keep them out of the penitentiary, I'm telling you, I wrote this book called Dead Before 18, Saving Our Boys from the Streets. And you can get it from my website at lamontcarey.com, right? And all of this stuff that I was telling you about my journey, I put this stuff in the book. It's not specifically about me, but it's about me. But it's more about how you recognize when you're being recruited to be a drug dealer. Because I didn't know that they was recruiting me. It talks about how to deal with your anger. It talks about all the things that I needed from somebody when I was that young, making those bad decisions. So I'm guarantee you, this book can open a young man or girl's eyes to a lot of the stuff that they're already experiencing or the things they can possibly experience. So I encourage you to get this. And I also have my prison series, Predator or Prey. Now, it takes a different approach because it shows you the horror of prison. It shows you the relationships. It shows you abandonment. So it deals with love, lust, how God's sleeping with inmates, which experience that I did have while in prison. So it's called, the books are called, the first book, just check out the first book, The Heal. And if you like The Heal, then you can check out the other books. But I thank you all for supporting me, for being in my corner. I hope me telling you parts of my life story wasn't offensive or it didn't come off as I was glorifying, because that was not my intent. My intent was just to enlighten you on some of the things that I went through, because some of the young men and women in your life are probably going through that right now. And you can say, hey, this is how this works. This is what you have to watch out for. Your life is better than this. So that's my only intent. So I appreciate you all. Yonda said I put a major shout out on my Facebook page today. Thanks, Yonda. Linda said you just gave me a look into the way my grandson may be feeling right now. I thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I asked you to push for, it's still like this today. There are really no programs for young men and women that gonna really help change their mindset. At least in a lot of the states that I've been in, you have to be involved in the criminal justice system, meaning that you have to have been arrested to have access to programming. So the main thing that I needed when I was that young, I needed some strong men, right? A strong man to say, "Shawty, let me haul at you and really invest in him." And he could have been somebody that never been to prison, but you had to be stern. I had to respect you, right? Or you had to be somebody that been to prison and changed your life. Because outside that, you really weren't going to get my attention once I got older. But if you focusing on young dudes before they get too far gone in the game, then you can possibly help change their life. And I know my brothers don't be really liking being mentors, because all you can remember is the mistakes that you made. But I'm telling you, Slim, those mistakes that you made are the mistakes that young dudes that were like me need to hear. Because all I knew was poverty, and the only way that I knew to get out, what I saw as an opportunity, was the street life. But we need y'all, man, that done changed y'all life, man, or that done been through some struggle. Don't necessarily have to be prison to engage our young boys and young girls, because we don't know. They only know what they see. And if they not brought up in the community with a whole lot of opportunities or know-how, then that's what they live by. That's all they know. That's what all they are exposed to. So they're going to take the options that they feel that they only have. So it really takes us to save us. And you ain't got to give a lot of yourself. Just give some of yourself to somebody that can use you, man. Some kids, somebody needs you. You have something that's going to change and impact somebody's life in an amazing way. And Dad, again, tried to do that for me. But I was just looking at her in a different way than the message that she was giving to me. But it did create a level of respect that I've never lost for her. So we have to really be that change that we want to see. And what we think is the worst part of us can be the best thing that ever happened to somebody else's life. So again, I appreciate you. I want you to comment. I want you to share. I want you to tell somebody about the show. But I also want you to give me some topics to talk about. I read what you said, Linda. Cynthia said, your mistakes can help someone do better. Exactly. And I'm going to leave you with this. If I hadn't went to prison, I probably would have been dead in 18 months. So the path that I took, even though I hated that path, hey Kim, even though I hated that path that I took, but that path brought me right here. It brought me to this amazing life that I'm building for myself. I fly out to Florida in the morning to work with some young guys in a juvenile institution because I'm trying to be that